hold on a second.
30 hours, Wallowa Union Railroad Authority. It's our regular meeting on the 11th day of July, 5:30 p.m. at the Minham Store. I would entertain a motion to begin this. Seem to have a... Thank you, Stephen. I have approval of the minutes of the May 14th Wara meeting. Changes, corrections, additions.
Can we move in closer so we can hear you?
Hearing none?
Okay. I have a question.
Have a motion to approve?
I have a question.
So moved.
No, I have a question.
I need a second, then we'll have a question. All right, motion and second, thank you. Question?
Should the, because we approved the budget, should the budget be attached to those minutes?
They're two different meetings.
The last meeting that we had, are we approving two sets of minutes?
This is the May 14th meeting.
Okay, so we're approving several sets of minutes?
We've approved others.
We haven't approved,
Just a minute. So, the budget was sent to all the board members at the time. The budget was in the newspaper. The budget has been out there since it was prepared, and we had the budget meeting with the budget committee. And so everyone should have been able to access a copy of the budget by now.
But that's not the question. The question is, should it be attached according to?
David will attach the budget. Now remember, we're a 190. We don't follow all the budget laws that all of you are used to under organizations of other kinds. So,
Well, that's okay. I
Yeah.
just like to know what I'm getting into.
okay. So we do have copies of the budget, and they will be attached to the permanent record. Having to do with the minutes of
Probably not. I just want to know what paper you put it in.
it's in the LaGrande Observer where I put it every single year.
That's all I need.
Okay, thank you. All right, we have a motion and a
I'm
second.
not being mean.
All those in favor of approving the minutes of the May 14th with the addition of the budget attachment?
aye.
Any nays? Hearing none, yes. All right. Moving on, report from the Friends of the Joseph Branch. Ed, you're up.
Well, we're filling up the train still, 100 people so far, about every trip, and we're still. I got a meeting with all air people tomorrow morning to get this Bud car air conditioner worked on. Spent about 8 hours, 9 hours with them last couple of weeks trying to get that thing to work good. Anyway, we're got train Saturday, train the 20th, train the 25th. That's a Wednesday, and August 3rd. And we'll take a 30-day break in August, and we'll start up again on September 4th. And we'll probably do pretty good in the fall. Seems to be a lot of tourism on a Ryder train. So, and, we're having pretty good turnout. Pretty impressed with how things are going this year. Any questions?
Just hoping the weather stays.
Yeah, I don't want it too hot.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
No,
So I don't want any fires. So, but anyway, in the meantime, we're
It's not getting any cancellations.
no. I went. The mechanic showed up. He inspected the 2083, put a 92 on it, and we're trying to keep up with the maintenance on the grilling stuff. Make sure everything's up there. Fire extinguisher person showed up today. Inspected all those things. FRA, got to do the FRA stuff. So, keep it up. Thank you, Ed.
Any questions for Ed? Anyone's passed out?
Oh.
All right. Next item, report of the Joseph from the Joseph Branch Trail Consortium. Greg isn't here tonight.
I'm here on behalf of the consortium.
would you step forward and
Yeah.
state your name, please?
Yeah. Hey everyone, my name is Rita McCreesh. I'm the assistant project coordinator, number 2 for Greg with the Joseph Branch Trails Consortium. I wrote some notes down just so I wouldn't fumble, so if you bear with me, I'll read my notes, and then I'll go from there. First of all, thanks to Grant and Lottie for hosting us today. It's definitely cooler down by the river than it was up in the valley. Again, Greg can't be here because the meeting was moved. He had some family obligations today, so he couldn't make it. Our report today is short because we're working hard to consider all the comments and concerns of WURA, of the city of Elgin, the Friends, our trail supporters, our trail opponents, and especially all those landowners that we heard from on the 4th. We just want to make it clear that we, as an organization, respect the authority and the purpose of WURA as an intergovernmental agency to operate, maintain, repair, and modernize the Joseph Branch rail line for the benefit of the citizens of Union and Wallowa counties and their visitors as stated in your charter. So we just want to respect that this is your terrain that we are on. From that June 4th meeting, there were nearly 20 additions laid out to our application that we are currently working to figure out. It was a lot to consider, so we're working our best to try to get everything considered and do what we can with all of those. And we're just beginning this process to then apply for a conditional use permit. We have not applied for a permit, and we're just beginning the process of creating this application that is contingent on the signature from y'all at WURA. We're working hard to give each of those 18 conditions the proper care, attention, consideration, expert views, and funding that they need, because it's a lot that we weren't expecting. So we're working to get all of them looked at. Just for context, over the past 3 years, our nonprofit organization, which consists of just 2 part-time staff that are contractors, so myself and Greg are contractors, we have brought in nearly $700,000 of grant money to the Union and Wallowa counties. That's all from outside sources. Absolutely none of that is coming from local governments or taxpayers. If you want to learn more about myself, Greg, or any of our board members in both Wallowa and Union County, we have all their contact information on our website, and that's at josephbranchtrail.org. So on June 15th, it was really awesome. Was anyone there at the ribbon cutting on June 15th? It was a really, really wonderful celebration. We had over 80 attendees from all over Wallowa and Union counties come out to celebrate the grand accomplishment of opening that park in Elgin and opening that first trail section within Elgin city limits. Some notable folks who were there to celebrate with us were Union County Commissioner Donna Beveridge, Elgin Mayor James Johnson, Elgin City Administrator Alex McCadad, many members of the Elgin's Lions Club, and many other land owners and business owners from the city of Elgin. So we had a really great party, and it was really fun to celebrate with everybody. That beautiful park and trail section is now being enjoyed by folks of all ages. Ron King, who was our contractor, has reported that tons of kids are playing gaga ball and having a lot of fun in the park, and he sees people walking the trail as he's finishing up almost every day, so it's really exciting. And again, that park and that trail, we came to Elgin with absolutely zero cost to local residents and taxpayers. It was all from grant funding from different organizations. It was absolutely zero cost to the local folks. Ron constructed it. He's a local from Elgin. He did an excellent job, and we're excited to hopefully hire him for future projects, which will bring more money into Elgin, his suppliers from Elgin, and as well as paying his crew and him himself. So we're hoping to bring more of that money into Union County. Further, it has been shown that many rural communities studied by the Rails to Trails Conservancy, which is like a national organization, they've studied these kind of things, and they say that it really does improve local economies. Some things that they've noted, and I can give you the documents if you want to see the backing for this, are that the cities see increased sales tax revenues, encouraged reinvestment in downtown businesses, increasing spending on food, beverages, gas, all that kind of stuff that we want people to be doing in Elgin and Wallowa and at the Minum stores. Buying stuff, booking trips, spending their money in our communities. Yeah, in addition to giving this short report, I just want to say we're here to make real life connections. We want to hear from folks. We don't want to have anyone feel like we're trying to sneak something in the back door. That is not our intention, and that's not how we want things to be getting done, because that doesn't make anybody feel good. We'd rather have this public process, have our time at these meetings, be able to give clear and honest reports like this one. I want to hear from you, so if you, after we're done, want your email on our contact lists, you can give me your email. It will be slanted towards our supporters because we just send one a month to our members. But if you'd like us to have your contact information, please give it to me. And if you're here as an adjacent landowner, one of our board members, Dr. Rafaela Betza, she's interested in hosting an in-person sit-down with her neighbors along the rail line and in Palmer Junction. She lives in Palmer Junction with her family. We are looking at September 7th for that date, so probably at the next WURA meeting we'll have a time, more details about that. But just know that if you're an adjacent landowner along that Elgin to Rondowa section, Dr. Betza wants to invite you into her home to talk about it and see where we can kind of find a middle ground. And maybe we won't find one, but we gotta try, right? Yeah, so thanks for listening to this report. I don't have a further report, and because it's just me, I'll do my best to answer some questions. But if the questions get too in-depth, I might just defer them to Greg via phone call, or to myself or Greg via phone call or email. And yeah, thanks for being here, and thank you guys.
I have a question.
Yes, sir.
I noticed in the beginning of your statement you said that the grant funding had nothing to do with any government entity.
Or local governments. So we did get grants from ODOT. Yeah, correct, sir. We did get grants from ODOT, but none of that came from local organizations. So that's a good clarifying question. Thank you.
So is it the same ODOT that, as of last winter, came on and told us, locals that live in Elgin and Tollgate and all that country, that they were short-funded? They could not afford to keep our roads clear, and they were short-handed, couldn't afford help, and then they can give out a grant?
Yes, sir. I think I can't.
I'm curious.
I understand. It's crazy. I have a degree in policy, and sometimes the way where money goes, it doesn't make sense, right? It doesn't make sense that I'm working in the Wallowa schools in the winter, and those kids need food, and we can't give it to them. It doesn't make sense that there's rocks on the road in Minum grade when I commute every day. Some things just don't make sense, so I can't speak for them.
Yeah, I appreciate the question. And the stock answer is it's a different pot of money.
Pardon me?
It's a different pot of money. And that's not
It's a
what we're
different
here
what?
about.
Pot
We're
of
here
money,
about
a
the
different
railroad.
pot of money.
Different.
They allot,
I thought it was government
Right.
is government money.
Well,
they
not,
set aside stuff for
Well,
that.
I understand. Okay.
yeah,
Okay, I just needed to ask.
right, that's
Yeah.
fine. All
It's
right,
hard to understand.
Let's
Yeah.
stay on the railroad and
Well, yeah, but that's part of it. All of it is all put together, really. Everybody needs to know where. And I have one more question.
Yes, sir.
And then I'm done.
No, you're good.
And you said about the landowners, and this, all the landowners, like Mr. Lawson Jenny, Rodney Terry, the Risdons, were they all sent letters?
Yeah, we've sent out a few letters over the last
few?
3 years. The most recent one I stamped at the Enterprise Post Office on the 6th of June. So we sent a few letters, I believe it was last August, and then I sent a letter on the 6th of June to all the adjacent landowners, letting them know that we were having that party in Elgin, giving them a personal invitation, and inviting them to hopefully come to Dr. Betz's house in the future. I'm going to send out a letter in the next couple weeks about that meeting at Dr. Betz's house. One final thing that might interest you is the public freedom of information, right? I've put in Freedom of Information Acts to ODOT. So questions that you have that WURA or myself can't answer, you just call up ODOT Transportation or fill out their form online, and they replied to me within like a week. So you can get your hands on information that you want We just might not have it here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just
Yeah.
curious.
It's hard. It's hard to get what you want.
Well, you gotta voice your opinion.
Yeah.
Other questions? Who do you send these letters out to?
So for those letters that I sent on the 6th, we have the tax lots and associated addresses of all tax lots that border the rail line. So for those letters that I sent out on the 6th, that's who they went to. It was about 45 tax lots, and then a few were the BLM and whatnot. We sent them letters as well. But it was about 45 families or individual mailing addresses. Yes, sir.
Can I give you my address?
Yes, sir. Right now it's fine. Yeah. Any other questions?
For her while she's standing there? Or close to standing there?
Cool.
Hearing none? All right. Thank you so much
You
for
wanna
the
write it down?
report.
Yeah. I've never
Okay,
received any.
fire prevention agreement, ODF and WURA.
Are you adjacent to the rail line? Yes. Would it
I-
be maybe under someone
I think it's good.
else's name?
Yeah.
I
Did you get
Family
a
or
chance to read it?
something?
Yeah.
I can pull the list up too and double check.
JD Brock gave me a heads up. We're at full fire restrictions right now. So along with that, for our railroad, we use our fire truck / water truck, 1,000-gallon tank. We have spray packs in the high well. We're limited to working hours out there in the daytime, the hot point of the day. So we've been notified and we're on standby. We're doing everything we can by carrying spray packs, shovels, et cetera, et cetera.
Yeah, the agreement just need to be updated. I think the last one was from 2014, 2016 or something. That's 10, 12 years old. And JV did a good job, and Susan and I went through this and
Or the transportation.
just kind of touched it up a little bit.
Well, they have everyone next to the rail line. Yeah. And if you're not, I'm happy.
Oh,
to
and
send
having
you
good
letter
partnerships
as
with them is
Would you
always
like to write it
fantastic.
down? Yeah. What's your name, sir?
There's just one signature line on that thing. Well, there's an hour.
Yeah, it's you and I, and then our state forester representative.
I would entertain a motion to approve the signatures for the document.
So, I'll
Thank you, Stephen.
did he move it?
I'll second.
Stephen moves, Kurt seconds. All right, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. All right. Maintenance report, James.
Hi, I'm James, head of track.
Did you, excuse me, did you skip the operating?
Mikey, nice to meet you. Yeah.
Yeah, I did. Skip right over it. Let's get James's report and then we'll move backwards.
All right, I'll make this short, brief. I'm James, head of track maintenance. For the last 2 months, I've been doing assessment on the track, a walking assessment. So in the following 2 months, I inspected all the track from milepost 20.5 to 47.90 right here in Minham. So we have joint ties, defective joint ties issues, which are being remedial action right now. We did 38 from Sunday till Tuesday. We're working our way up here to Minham, and there's 4 more sections, roughly about 60 ties to be replaced.
James, would you take a moment and explain how you go about replacing a tie?
Well, you use jacks, you pull the spikes, you lift the rail, you pull the plates, you drop the rail, you dig around the tie, and you remove the tie.
And what equipment are you using to do that?
Backer and our hands. So it takes roughly about 15 minutes to do a tie. That's pull, set, spike. So just not worried about that, but we're working our way up here. There's minimal, this year it's minimal defects. Small minor defects are not defects. So we're not in the red, so we're safe to run. It's just defective joint ties that need to be changed. So we're working on that. And also I'd like to see if we have it in the budget to buy 200 more ties to have on hand in case there is emergency, something goes wrong, we'll have those ties on hand.
Okay, would you stop there? 'Cause some of these people don't know what kind of tie we need. Size?
8 by 8 by 7 or 8 by 8 by
Inch.
8 inches by 8 feet long by 8 inches. They're end plated and they're roughly about $97.50 a tie.
Plus freight.
Plus freight.
Plus freight.
So $8,000 for freight, $23,500 for ties.
It's 200.
That's 200 ties.
So roughly over 3,000.
Yes.
Who's that going through? Who's
Dina
buying ties
Hornberger.
from?
Dina Hornberger.
I guided a guy last week that's in the reserve boat business that is starting a tie plant. Might be worth just talking to him to see
Okay.
if he has other options. He knows he's been in the wood industry for like 50 years in Oregon. But I'm not saying that's bad or anything, but I just think he might be interested. He might have some good options.
Creosote treated.
He was talking about 3 different kinds, all 3 different.
Okay, I'll get a hold of him.
So
The last time this has been thorough, and these ties they'll last 150 years.
what
The
kind
last
of wood?
time I ordered a bunch of ties, we got a bunch of ties donated to us, and I went out to John Day, picked up 2,000 ties, and me and my dad had to separate like 4,000 ties by hand to get out the good ones, and they were donated to us, and that was a rough job. The other time we got ties, we got them from Canada. They were hard to spike. They weren't end plated, and now they're breaking and shipping. So I know these ties, what I'm getting for $97, are gonna hold up.
What kind of wood are they?
They're red fir.
He was talking about a local species of oak. But anyhow,
Jesus.
you don't want oak.
I want oak, but usually you go to buy an oak tie, you're looking at $200-something.
Well, I can follow up with him and just ask.
Okay, follow up with them.
It may not go anywhere, but it's.
Yeah,
I was on
get
the
oak
road
tie.
Don't they make them out?
for 4 days, and I thought, well, there you go.
They're hard to
They
spike,
make
but
them out
they'll
of
last
concrete now.
200-300 years.
They won't split when they get spiked.
No, I don't think so.
But
We're in the middle of replacing bolts. We just ordered bolts, 2 kegs. That costed us $1,285.26 for 2 kegs, and that's for these ties that we're putting in. We're coming across a lot of bolts that are breaking. The heat, the cold, they're breaking. So we're replacing a lot of bolts.
So you're saying you need 200 more
So
for like safekeep? I mean, how many do we have on hand right now?
we have 50.
50?
55.
And
we could
And
get
you're- and you-
100.
25 up there, and there's 25 in my shop.
you just did 60. So yeah, one more replacement job. We're empty.
Yeah,
That's right. That's why we don't just
I
get.
wasn't expecting to do more tie projects this year until I walked that track and I did an assessment on joint ties.
Yeah.
Those are defects. That could put a train on the ground really quick.
We don't want that.
So that's why I'm bringing it to your guys' attention. I should have brought it to your attention a little bit sooner. I just didn't realize we were going to have that many joint ties in our shop.
Well, we're going to need them. I don't want to all of a sudden stop the rail because we're out of ties. How long will it take to get 200 ties in there?
About 2 or 3 weeks.
That's actually pretty good turnaround time.
It's not bad, yes. And then
And don't forget, the friends can help. You guys need we can split the half or something.
we just want you to give us the big
Did
check.
you get that?
at the
Did you get that written down, Dave?
We already gave you guys money before. We
Could
can
you
help.
state, sir, could you state your name and ask your, sir,
What's your name?
Yeah,
state your
I'm
name
sorry,
and
man.
ask your question.
My name's Frank. I didn't hear what you said when I mentioned the concrete ties.
Well, we looked at concrete too, and those,
Astronomical.
yeah.
Okay,
No,
I would just.
Don't have equipment to deal
And we
with it.
don't have the equipment to deal
Okay,
with
that's what I
concrete.
was
Yeah.
wondering. It's just a question.
Yeah, well, the equipment we have is mostly muscle power from 2 guys.
Well, then feed them some more Wheaties.
I buy them food.
Just for curiosity, I guess it is really real information, but how long of 200 ties? How long before you need to replace that supply? Is that 3 years, 4 years?
Well, in my time that I've been here, I've distributed about 3,000 ties, almost 3,400 ties in 9 years. And
those ties are magnificent to this day. They're going to outlast me. They're going to outlast my children, and so on and so forth. It's going to be here for the next 200 years. This railroad was established in 1908, and a lot of these ties, I'm finding pins in them that are from 1920, 19.
Really?
Yeah. So a lot of these ties are good. It's just time we start paying attention and replacing the ones that need to be replaced, and that's what I've been doing for the last while.
Oh,
I've
that's
only
what-
been
I'm
one
just
guy,
curious how
two
many-
guy, three guy. In the last 2 years, I've got to bring on Jeremiah and Dennis, and we have accomplished a lot in the last 2 years of our tire restoration project. We're doing the best we can out here. We're getting stuff done, and this track is looking a lot better.
Well, my question wasn't about quality at all. It was just how long will 200 be?
How long will 200 ties last? Well, see,
When did we order this?
2 years ago.
2 years ago.
Yep, it was 250, and the
We
year
ordered
before-
250 2 years ago, has 50 left.
3 or 4 years ago, we ordered 500. So I can't remember what that 500.
That was when they were $67.50 a tie.
Yeah, that was $47,000.
Is there, if we buy more, I know if you buy bigger in
They're
bulk,
gonna
will,
get used.
will, what's that?
They're gonna get
It does
used.
not drop the
It doesn't
price.
drop the
It's
price on
per
these, huh?
tie.
Really?
Yeah.
Per tie.
Oh,
Yeah,
that stinks.
that's right.
We've tried that.
Well, is it, would the freight cost go up, or is that just a flat? Is that 8,000?
No, the freight cost depends on how much you're
Weight?
trucking out.
Okay.
100 ties will be less freight than 200, but 200 ties
Cost
will,
per tie.
Yeah, I'm just trying to,
yeah.
see if
So
we could
we're
get a better
always
deal.
gonna have spots that come up when you have track movement. There is wear and tear on the track, so there is going to be ties that disintegrate, under pressure. Those 200 ties are going to come in handy when we start finding spots like that. So
Will that come in on one truck or is that multiple trucks?
that'll probably come on one truck.
So, yeah.
They come in 25 bundles, so 50, 1, 52, one truck.
What's the weight?
Yeah. Other than that, the tracks are really good shape right now. Grant, have you had any issues with the heat, thermal misalignments, or
Looking good.
all those spots I fixed are holding up? Yeah, very good. That's about all I got.
I got one more
So is
question for you. Really. How's the bridges look?
Bridges are going to need some TLC. I've been making peace
Like
with
Howard
Matt.
Creek and
Chauffeur.
Howard Creek's totally rebuilt.
You know, Howard Creek has one
Well,
mud
well,
seal.
it has mud.
One mud seal that was in the contract when they did it. They couldn't get the bridge raised. So the problem is now we got to find an engineer to show us or come in and lift that bridge to get a mud seal. So it's still holding. I check it every month, and it's still holding. But in the near future, the next year or so, we're going to be looking at figuring a way to get that mud seal along the shoulder.
I have a question. James, are you doing any ties above Minum, upstream of Minum?
No, but I have some ties laid out there to fix a couple gauge spots for these guys that are running their pedal.
For the rail riders?
Yeah, for
Sweet.
the railroad.
Yeah, I was wondering about that. Just so you know, I don't know if you've talked to Greg about this, but we just purchased one of those e-assist rail bikes. So that might help with you walking the
I'm
track.
not walking. I have a high rail.
You have?
I have told him 100 times.
You've got a high rail? Okay, I was like, if you're walking, let's get you off the feet. That sucks.
A track certified high rail. I'm
Great.
not walking. I walk that track enough.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
Okay.
Okay, so
Pedaling a bike down.
back to your original ask.
Yeah.
Would you,
I would
Yeah.
like. I'd like, but I don't know where we're at with money and.
well, I think it's important we have them. And,
Okay, where we are with money, we received the money, the half payment from the 45D tax credit. Right now, we're sitting at around $117,000.
All right, see you guys.
That will take us through to October, November when we receive the second payment. It's very helpful when the Friends get through with their season that they pay us that big pile of money for however that works out for them. But right now, this is why I usually try to get the ties at this time of year, so that we're ready when fall comes, and into the early winter when the weather's still pretty decent and it's cool and they can get down there and do some of that work. Having them here for them to do, but they're not cheap, but we do have the money, but we don't have money to fritter away on things. We have enough money to pay the guys to do the work and get the materials that we need. It would be nice if we had money to buy a new backhoe, to hire, we don't. That's not what this operation does. So right now, our big income is whatever we get from the friends, and we need to discuss that, and then whatever grants operation here pays for the use of the, and that. That and the 45G tax credit's your income.
Yeah.
So the money you're talking about for the rail that you just mentioned, that you have, that is for the rail, the railroad track itself.
That's for the maintenance of the railroad track, and that's
And
why
it's nothing to do really with the trail. It's going to go on. Okay, that's what I was.
No,
Okay.
no.
Thank
In
you.
fact, the trail, they've known from the very beginning that Wallowa will put no money into the trail. None.
Oh,
We
okay.
don't have it put in.
Okay.
Yeah, that's, yeah.
Well, I'll move to approve the purchase of 200 more ties with possible looking into the Friends of the Joseph Branches contribution.
I would second that.
We have a motion and a second to purchase the 200 ties. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Any opposed? Hearing none, motion passes. Thank you. Thanks, James. Anything else?
Commissioner, may I ask you a question?
Yes?
So you mentioned that Grant and Minham Store pay a fee to use the rail line. Do the rail riders also pay a fee to use the rail line?
Yep.
And is that public knowledge what they pay and how, like the percentages and whatnot? Can you speak to that at all, Grant, or would you like to?
Our concession agreement, we have not finalized yet with Grant this year because he's a new owner. So I would not speak to it until we get that finalized. I can tell you in the past with the rail riders, they paid us $1 a ticket, and $1.50 a ticket if they were on this section of the. But we have not finalized the new concession with Grant, who is a new owner. So I will not speak to what that might be here in the future. But that, just so you know, the operation prior, before Grant purchased it, they were the biggest contributor to finances to the railroad, because they also leased a spot at the Y and Joseph. They operated on 3 pieces of track, and it was about $23,000 at $1 a ticket. So guess what that money was.
From the river outfit or the rail riders?
The rail riders,
Rail riders.
the pedal.
Yeah. Thank you.
All right, back to the operating agreement, Joseph Branch. Go right ahead.
Oh, okay. Did everyone have a chance to look over this? And my biggest question is to Ed. Did you get it to everybody? And what are
Yeah,
your
everybody's had a chance to look at it.
okay? What are your thoughts?
I think we should have a group of commissioners board members from Wallowa and some from Friends to get together. The Friends don't like this. They don't like it at all.
Okay.
But we're willing to help with your purchase of time. So if you guys want us to write a check for half the price or something.
Okay. So you want to have a work session on it?
There's some things in here I think it needs to be clarified and
Okay.
some other little.
And I've been trying to get this done for 6 years. Ed.
Well, anyway, we can have a short session to get everybody started.
Yeah.
Pretty soon, and then
no problem.
August we don't run for 30 days, so we can work on it a little harder then.
Okay. Well, how about this? You guys take as many notes as you can on this, tweak it to whichever way you want. You set up the work session. You
We can have it in your office or something.
you can do it wherever you want.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah.
So, with that all in mind, maybe we should formalize that. I would propose with a motion that, I don't know, maybe 2 board members, including Mr. Scarpo, certainly 2 board members, maybe a group of 4, 2 from each, meet and have something tried put together by, I don't know, early September, come back to this board and report that they're either log or jam, they got something figured out, or not. So, that
So
clears Bud?
I see 2 volunteers, Commissioner Scarpo and Mr. Howell.
Hey, Garrett,
Hey, thanks. That was,
I'll
Well,
well, there's more the merrier.
We could even have a meeting with Grant, right in the store.
All the better.
No, the sooner I figure out what your hang up is, the easier we can, get it back to legal counsel when we get everybody.
Yeah, right. Yeah. We can start some.
You're not going to give us a hint right now, are you?
Well, I think Wara needs to be more involved in what we do.
Oh.
So, help, because we're just going around putting out money, and I just don't think you guys realize what we do.
So when you say more involved, because we have been admonished multiple times that we don't care and we don't have feelings, and
right.
that's, yeah.
Yeah, lots of friends feel, so they like to have you guys to help us out.
And you're with,
Try to get funding.
you're with the friends of the track.
I'm with the Friends of Joseph Branch. Friends of Joseph Branch.
Oh,
So Ed, who's your other Friends of the Joseph Branch person?
I don't know.
Thank you.
I'd have to ask.
Well,
Who wants to
I
be
need
on it?
names, because we just have a motion here. and I
Okay, I'll
wanna-
do Ralph. Let's do Ralph.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
And the other board, 2 board members, are you the,
Yeah, I'll be there.
and you're the other?
Just let me know when you guys get
Right.
slow
All
down
right,
and
we
when
have
you
a
want to.
motion.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. The board, we will have a committee, Kurt, Matt, Ralph, and Ed, that will meet. They will set that meeting up and they will start working their way through the operating agreement.
And Grant wanted it too.
Yeah, Grant wants it.
Grant wants to.
Grant wants in?
Sure.
All right, that works.
He'll be fun.
We're adding Grant to the motion. All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All right.
So who's going to step? I don't know when. Like, you let us know when you're not busy.
All right.
Send notes
Okay, I
ahead.
will.
Yes.
Send notes
You-
ahead.
you two
I've
are
heard
the
all your
lead.
comments, but
Yeah.
just send notes ahead so everybody can see it.
Right.
Yeah.
All right.
Text
Send
me.
an email.
Text me. Call me. And make sure you come with a. Okay. Thank you.
Right.
Yeah. And we'll start the back and forth.
Okay.
All right.
Well, look forward to it.
It'd be nice to have a contract with you.
Yeah. We're feeling the same way.
Can I ask a question since I'm here? Has this railroad ever had a contract with Friends?
No.
Nope.
Not as long as I've been here.
That's all I asked.
Nope.
Excuse me, ma'am. Could you? JosephBranchTrail.org?
Yep.
Okay. Just want to clarify that. Make sure my scribble was correct.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. Taking care of that. Other business we wanted to talk about. It was mentioned that we need to have Grant take you all down the track, the board. All those who've never been down the track, hike the track, drug dead elk out of the track, or any other damn thing down there. I grew up here, so that explains
Oh, yeah,
why I
I
know
have
what
to.
I'm talking about.
On the other side.
Yeah. No, we're down here.
Okay.
Yeah. Yeah, the house was on the other side. So, I'm assuming there's no train running. When do you want to do that? Since I'm going to let you guys decide when that will happen.
When you slow up.
August?
August.
Should we do it in August?
August 3rd's the last
Why,
one.
why don't we have the committee
Grant, when you
meeting
do-
here?
Grant,
and-
when you do
and
that,
maybe the rest
I'm
of the
gonna come
board
along
could
with, I'm gonna,
Yeah,
Yes.
join
Oh, you
in
need to be
and
there.
Self-serving.
take a trip.
Yeah, because they will need to ask
I
the
don't know
questions.
tonight. Yes,
I just been kind of waiting for you to get
maybe
your
up to
schedule
Grant.
clear.
Decide.
Well, I think it should be up to Grant since you've asked to use his equipment.
Well, yeah, it's his call.
August 1st, August 9th, August 15th, 19th. What, you're running August 3rd, so we don't want to run August 7th.
Yeah, that's Saturday.
No, beginning of August not good for me.
Okay. So August 9th,
Still no.
August 19th.
The thing is, I've been down the tracks. I've done it a couple times. So if I don't want to, if everyone can do those dates, then don't worry about me. Unless we're trying to do some like skill building and trying to.
19th is a Monday.
Drop a few ties on the way, is that what you're saying?
Yeah.
Yeah, we're gonna go
Yeah,
install
well-
ties.
We'll get a little training session in on.
You guys tighten some joint bars.
Yeah. 19th and what else was there?
I could probably do most of that week of the 19th at this point. Right now, I mean, we're doing the morning. We're gonna do a morning deal. The week of the 19th, I can schedule it.
That'd be cooler. Assuming it's gonna be
Now
warm.
it's a nice time to go down the track in the morning.
7's
Been there a few
best.
times.
6 is even better.
It's 6
5 is
o'clock in the
great.
morning, 5 o'clock.
If that's what it is, I'll be here.
The 23rd is the best for me. That Friday.
Yeah, I can do that.
Okay.
Nothing else has been mentioned. I would be available for
23rd.
the 23rd to work.
In the morning. Gotta be back there by 2:30.
Yeah.
All right.
August
Friday the
August
23rd.
23rd.
All right. Steven likes it too.
0700.
And we're meeting right here.
That's what I think.
Is that the plan? Meet here at 7 o'clock.
Where are we going?
Do you want to do a
Going
tour of the
down
whole
and
track?
No.
Are we just gonna go down and back, or what are we?
Yeah, I don't think there's any reason to take a side trip anywhere.
Okay. Well, I don't know if we're trying to do the whole thing up to Joseph.
No.
Just
No,
doing Mineham to Elgin.
save that for a later date.
Line them down.
We're shoot for 9 a.m.
You said 7.
7 a.m. 7 a.m. Cool.
The
At Moynihan.
oh shit, I can't do the 23rd.
You can't do the 23rd. Can't do
Okay.
So the reason to do this is to understand how his operation works?
No.
it. No.
Just to see
So-
the tracks?
Yep.
We can understand a little more what Jim's dealing with was my idea. And, you know, I have an idea, fair idea, but maybe not. You know, I ride on the train and as a car host, so I get a fair idea. But he can bring up some things. We may get to a point that says, well, hey, look at this, folks. Here's why we need the tie or whatever we need to do here. Maybe we need some ballast in this area or something.
What about that next week, the 26th or 30th?
I'm good on those. Either one of those.
I'm just throwing that week out.
Sure.
I'm open to
Why
it.
not?
I think the 28th and 29th is no good. There's a OTEX Economic Summit is Wednesday, and the board meeting is the following Wednesday.
But 26th or the 30th.
The 30th works great. I got
30th
nothing
would be
on
okay.
that day. It's weird.
Be cooler too.
Yeah.
30th.
Fine.
Going
Steven? Yeah, looking at August 30th.
30th.
Okay.
0700 hours at Mina.
Those things.
So I have one more question. Since it's an official piece for the board members and the services being provided, should we offer compensation?
Yes.
contractor wages. 17.
Okay, well,
Grant, 17
Since
contractor
the
wages.
Wallowa board requested that Grant use his equipment, it will be his time and fuel costs, whatever it costs to get up and down the track, in his time, in a six-pack, out of his own refrigerator.
That's gratuity, and you have to claim it on your taxes.
Only if it's over $50.
It'll be a nice six-pack.
Yeah, we'll get a cheap one.
And I did bring it up with search and rescue about your 1 a.m. and 2 a.m. phone calls.
Yeah.
So we're gonna work on something.
Hey,
Okay.
I got those a lot when I first started.
Yeah, and then Grant showed up and
I'm right here.
That was so funny when the guy fell off. They said, well, they called me and they said, well, we need that guy that can, and I said, why don't you call the guy at Mineham? You must be close by. He's equipped. Sure, he'd do it for you.
Part of the deal.
Okay, well, they hadn't thought about that.
I will get a hold of Matt. I'll get a hold of Dina and see what the timeline is on that, and then I'll text you and Susan.
for the
Ties.
ties, okay.
And I'll do a rough estimate again with hers. Make sure it's $97.50.
Oh, there's a way we cut. I mean, if we need more, I mean, we cut costs somehow, but it sounds like there's no way.
I'll ask her.
Actually, I've talked to her about it. It's kind of nice and
Well, if there's another option, I would explore that too.
Explore that.
But they
Or
have
it could
to
be down the road. I mean, I can talk to him.
talk to him, get his information, but they have to be correct wood and correct, they have to have in caps.
You can find everything you need.
Okay, other business, any other business?
So the website is here. My information.
The emails that
You
were
can find my
circulating about the
information on the website.
newspaper stories, how you are going, I think we should talk about.
Thank you, Mike. Have a good one.
This is not a motion yet. I think that police maybe should post warning signs at Mineham, Belgium, whatever. And if you're going to enter onto this public-private property, that's at your own risk. And basically, you shouldn't be there.
Maybe you said don't walk down the track. When you should be walking on the track.
Yeah.
So I do all the track inspecting, and I go up the FRA. By having people on that track, it is interfering with the railroad, and it's trespassing. Somebody could get
Exactly.
killed. He's operating on that track. It is going to open up doors for somebody getting hurt. I'm going to be honest. I don't really see a lot of people out here in the summertime walking or fishing. Every now and then I'll see one or two people that'll be off the track. But if you open it up for a hiking trail,
We're not.
This is
One
addressing,
person walked down that way and then he walked back. Yeah.
So,
and then he invited the public to just go do the same.
Well, so
That's what's troubling.
so the thing was, is where he got his information. I went back and our administrator and I looked at that. And if you find out where it was out of Wallowa County somewhere. If you look down on where they got their information, they said none of this has been fact checked and you shouldn't take this, to heart. Well, this gentleman wrote an article in the Oregonian and just said a whole bunch of whatever he wanted to say. And a lot of it was very incorrect. But like Susan said in the emails, you can say whatever you want until you come down here. But when you with those signs up there, beware and all that stuff, it's either you got to put trespassing signs up. Because I know our legal counsel will say no, because that's inviting.
Yes.
When you invite them, then someone does get hurt down there, then we're in trouble. It has to be just trespassing, no trespassing. Period.
Nothing else.
Well, then I would recommend offhand we should do it.
Yeah, I agree with myself.
I think we're next out a mile or something.
It doesn't happen often, but occasionally guys will go down with a motorcycle. Yeah. Or a side by side.
That is a violation.
That's
I
pretty
could nail
bad.
it for that.
Take pictures. I've tried to get you on that.
Well, then, I'll make a motion then in this case that I don't know how many signs it would take, but enough
just
I'm
need a.
thinking an entry
Palmer
point.
Junction.
Right here, the only way you can get on is get on right here. Or in Elgin.
And
Looking glass.
looking glass.
Looking glass, okay.
So a minimum of 3 up to 6. I
Got
don't
two
know.
crosses in it.
Well, at mine of 2.
Why don't we
On down.
look into, because there's going to be costs, there's going to be wear, and
Well-
why don't we make a motion to like look into the.
Okay, I'll modify this to say we should look into the cost of up to 6 signs that are no trespassing signs.
And it isn't just the signs, then you gotta have somebody go down there, you gotta dig a hole, you gotta plant the sign, you gotta make sure, I know,
Yeah.
but there's a cost to that.
Yeah.
Let's look into it. Let's look into the cost and then come back and make
I
another
mean
motion.
the entire cost, not just the cost of purchasing the sign.
I'm aware.
Yeah, that really bothered me when I finally got the gist of the whole thing.
Nice if we could state some specific fines or, you know, like, especially with the motorized stuff, you know, just it chaps my hide a bit when I see that.
It would.
Yeah, I can see the motorized and the bicycle.
Just because I live at Palmer Junction, another place that you guys might consider a sign is they use the Bathtub Springs Road above my house, and they use that four-wheeler trail that drops down to the tracks. And a lot of I remember I hear there'll be 20, 30 four-wheelers parked there. And then they gotta walk the tracks, right, the rest of the way to go fishing. You might think about one there, just because that's,
Yeah, I was saying Palmer Junction, yeah.
well, but this is above Palmer
Yeah, but we
Junction.
don't own that.
It does,
That'd be cool.
the motion was to look into
But
the
it
cost
would
of
be,
signs.
yeah, but it would still be down on your tracks where they stop
We
at.
can-
They
okay.
stop
I know
at
exactly
your
what you're
border.
talking about.
I know where
We're
it's
going to look into the cost of signage that just says no trespassing.
I'll
We can
second.
Figure out how many we need later.
I'll second.
We have a motion and a second. All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Thank you. Any nays? Motion passes. Anything else? Would you state your name, sir?
Paul Johnson. I was contacted by a couple of property owners down here. They own the cabins in Wallowa, and they wanted to be here at this meeting because they wanted to get their opinion on record on this trail. So one of them lives in Oregon City and he works 6 days a week.
Yeah.
The other one is in Idaho. Yep, yeah. The other one is in Idaho this week, so both of them missed it. Anyway, they asked me if I would stop in and let their opinions be known. Their opinions are based on a couple of things. One of those is that both of those cabins were burglarized last winter. There was a lot of items stolen, doors destroyed, locks destroyed, things like that. And so they worked on that and they found the people that did it that were responsible for it. And so one of them already had a do not release on him at the county jail in there because he was on a parole violation from the state pen. So they were supposed to ship him back to the state pen, but neither of the people from the cabins heard anything more about it, and they tried their contact to find out what was going on with that because they'd like some of their stuff back if possible. And all their sources dried up and nobody would answer the phones anymore.
You got a name on that person? Because I might know who it is.
Well, I bet you probably do.
Dustin Mathis?
Yeah.
Yep.
One of them.
We had him interview at our house last night, and I told him no.
Toy is the other one.
Josh Toy.
Josh Toya.
Well, the question I would ask is, the people who broke in and stole their stuff, did they walk down the track? to get
No.
there?
They rode four-wheelers. They stole the four-wheelers from my neighbors,
From
from my other neighbors. And
I
my husband had a
understand
picture.
their concern over the trail, but what those people did had nothing to do with the trail. They
Well, not exactly, but what they're saying is if there's more people down there, that's going to happen more often. So they're concerned about that because
It only got reported because there's more people down there. If there wasn't anybody down there, wouldn't take the sheriff down that night and try to catch him.
well, the people that did all the burglary work on it, somebody took them down there.
No, they went on four-wheelers.
No, I mean, somebody took them down there the first time. They knew the cabins were there because when they went in with bolt cutters. They knew what they were
Everybody
doing.
knows the cabins are there.
And they were planned out. Yeah, well, never mind. That's really not the central point here. The central point is they didn't like it and they want to cut the possibilities of that happening down again. The biggest worry is fire, because one of them had two insurance representatives down there last summer and the year before, and they were both denied coverage because there's no fire suppression there. It's a remote area. It's too long to get somebody in there to do something about a fire. Okay, so, and I think a lot of people here can understand this. If there is a fire that develops, there's no way to put it out before it takes those cabins out completely. So if they have no insurance, they're pretty worried about that, and I don't blame them a bit. And that's really one of their main concerns. So there isn't any win situation for them on that trail, but there are a lot of potential downsides, and that's where they're at. So
I would suggest that they both write a short letter with their name, address, and contact information so they can be contacted and be part of and have their opinion in the record.
So where does that go to?
Me.
To you?
Yep.
Tear off a piece of paper and put your contact on there, would you please?
Yeah. And do they both live in Oregon City? Because I sent a couple letters
No,
to
one
Oregon
of them
City.
lives in Pendleton.
Okay. If you have their addresses, I'll take them. Well, they may be on my list already. We could check.
I have their addresses, but I would like to ask them before I release it.
That makes sense.
See what I'm saying?
Sweet.
Okay.
Yeah, so my email's on there as well as our website.
Okay.
And yeah, just like Susan said, they haven't even approved the trail yet. So you don't need to talk to Wura about the trail. You can talk to myself or Greg or go on our website. And again, like, we're here to listen and try to figure out if it could even happen. So it sounds like your buddies might be anti-trail, but we still want to hear from them.
They want to get their opinion in to the railroad because the railroad has a lot to do with what's going on here. And they're going to be making decisions that are going to affect that. So the point is, if you're against something, then you want to be in touch with everybody that's involved in it.
That makes
See
sense.
what I'm saying? So those are the risks that they're up against. And anybody that hears that owns property alongside those tracks knows if there's a fire, they can lose $1 million worth of timber in one day, especially when you're in an area of pine. They'll like to drown, jump from tree to tree. So the more people that you have going up and down those tracks, the more problems you're going to have with fire, because in this area down here, it gets cold at night. If somebody's down there camping, they want a warming fire, they're probably going to build it. And that's happened before in other places.
Okay, you got her contact?
Got it.
Get your friends to do that part? Okay.
Yep.
Right?
And on what the gentleman was just bringing up, part of this, from like when people, if they leave Elgin on the trail, unless you're in damn good shape, you're not going to make it to Palmer Junction in one day.
We've had that discussion. That's part of the issue we have that trail.
I mean, you're going to have a place for people to, because that is a hell of a hike.
The Wallowa Union Rail Authority is not building the trail.
Well, I understand. I thought that's what this. I was there and saying this meeting was part and has nothing to do with the trail.
This is just a regular authority.
Pardon me?
This was just a regular rail authority board meeting.
I can see this gentleman, because people are going to walk, and when they leave Palmer Junction, it's a pretty good hike where the cabins are. So if you get there, where are you going to stay? What are you going to do?
Actually, I was told, basically what he was told, that the railroad was going to make a decision on whether to allow the trail to apply for a license.
We did motion to postpone
That's right.
action on that.
And we still have it postponed because we need further
But
information.
we did say we were going to postpone it to the next
We postponed indefinitely.
indefinitely. That's
Yeah.
right. We did postpone indefinitely.
That's what
So
I
it
thought
could be
we
at
did.
any one of these.
Yeah.
It's not.
Well, anyway, their message that they wanted me to convey was,
Okay.
please don't.
Appreciate you being here for us.
Thanks, Jim.
Yeah, good point.
All right, any other business? If not, we need to set a date and time for the next meeting, and that doesn't include that does not include the trip down there. That's an information gathering meeting for the Wallowa board.
We call it a retreat.
So you need somebody to propose a date?
Yeah, it's usually 6 weeks.
You didn't say specific dates.
End of August.
You gotta admit, it's been interesting. Same stuff.
Was it your cabin or was it Mitch's cabin?
It's just, both of them. Jim Whitney's got hit too. Jim lost about $8,000.
I was just curious because that son of a bitch tried interviewing for our house last night. He said, "No, you're in the investigation."
August 27th.
Nothing to do with it.
You don't want to do it anymore.
Where at?
He broke into my shop 4 or 5 years ago, and I got
Let's
him
do,
went to his house. And I said, "Hey,
No, no. We're getting the phone those things. How about the 3rd, Steven?
He's like, I said, "Well, you got 2 choices. Get arrested right here now. You can
3rd?
show me
Maybe
what
do
shit's
the
out."
4th instead.
And I haven't had a problem with him since, but
I got LeGrand City Hall meeting.
Well,
I
I'll tell
can
you
skip
what,
that though.
you
Yeah,
know,
we do
it's-
4th.
The guy's a professional, you know. He cut at Mitch's cabin.
In the
They
meeting,
had
you
6
guys are
locks on
voting
there.
Fourth?
They were heavy brass.
4th?
And they had
Wednesday.
It's a Wednesday.
16.
Yeah.
At 5 or
on his way
5:30.
back then. They just picked him up
We're
again
going to have it
for
Elgin?
probation
Or-
violation.
We haven't been to Wallowa in a while.
But those locks had 5/16 hardened shanks on them. He cut every one of them.
Still nice here.
And they,
Before this was
when they come to the back door,
Yeah, where we're
of that
supposed to be
place,
at,
it had a brass
Steven.
one on it. And they cut that one off, but they had another one that's on top, but it was hardened steel.
Our last 2 have been in
And they
mining.
couldn't get their bolt cutters in there.
I think
So they took the electric saw they stole from Jim Whitney.
This is supposed to be
and
Elgin?
they cut the door out there where the hinge was. 3 inch
Elgin's good.
door.
Okay. Okay.
He needs a water pump on his foot and about 50 feet of water.
Well, we only had 5:30 because Kurt had some, we had some stuff going on. So
Well, the problem
we'll make
is
it
there's
5
no
o'clock, September
justice for
4th.
the victims.
That sound good?
You know, they're never going to get any of that stuff back. So that's where they are anyway. So we had fun anyway, didn't we?
Elgin, Matt.
Elgin, yep.
I can do that all by myself, but thank you.
You guys got anything to say?
I'm here just for the
Question on
opposite.
that
Right
meeting.
here. Actually, the city
I have
often
a
wants
question on
a
that
lot of the
meeting
people want to
that
see
we're gonna have.
really
Is that
excited about it.
for-
Yep.
Just you guys were and that, or is that for landowners?
It's a board meeting, anyone's welcome to come. You may not be invited to speak, but you're welcome to come and listen. It's a regular board meeting.
Just a board meeting.
Yeah.
So the
There'll be
landowners,
an agenda go out, and if you want on the agenda, let that gentleman in the blue shirt know. If you want on the mailing list for it.
yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
It always shuts
Well, I
down.
was just,
They
that's
keep
why I
letting
was
rock
asking
out.
if like
And the other
the
chick that was
landowners
helping
like
him was
Mr.
the
Denny and
DPA's
Terry
daughter.
and all
I
them.
And they
think
kept
we're
letting
there
her out.
yet, so.
And I can tell you where the stuff's
I
at.
don't
there
It's
believe
out
we're
here
at
around
that
Bowling
point.
Okay.
Loop, out of Gannon's place,
All
it's
right.
Indians. And it's out of
Okay.
Sandyville.
That's
And
what I was
can tell you
asking.
where the stuff
Thank
is, and I
you.
can
If
tell you
there's
who
nothing
did it.
else, we are adjourned.
Tell them that the heater